The Far East campaign during World War II spanned a vast geographical area, from the jungles of Burma to the islands of the Pacific. Often overshadowed by the war in Europe, the conflict in the Far East raged for years. It involved millions of soldiers and civilians from various nations. This often forgotten front played a crucial role in the overall outcome of the war. The fighting was fierce, marked by difficult terrain, challenging climates, and brutal battles. The Japanese Empire, driven by imperial ambitions, aimed to secure resources and expand its dominion. They launched a series of swift and devastating attacks on Allied forces. The United States, Britain, China, and other Allied nations found themselves struggling to contain the Japanese advance. The vast distances, logistical challenges, and the ferocity of the Japanese onslaught made the Far East campaign a daunting challenge. Yet amidst the adversity, stories of courage, resilience, and sacrifice emerged. The early stages of the Far East campaign witnessed a series of stunning Japanese victories. The attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941 brought the United States into the war. It also marked the beginning of Japan's relentless southward push. The fall of Singapore in February 1942, considered an impregnable fortress, sent shockwaves through the Allied nations. The British surrender at Singapore was a major turning point, highlighting Japan's military prowess and shaking British morale. Simultaneously, the Japanese invaded Burma, aiming to cut off the Burma Road, a vital supply line to China. The Burma Campaign was a grueling struggle, characterized by dense jungles, disease, and fierce fighting. The Japanese forces, well adapted to the terrain, pushed the Allied forces back. The campaign witnessed the largest land battle fought by the British Army to that point, a testament to the scale and intensity of the conflict in the Far East. Despite early setbacks, the Allies began to turn the tide in the Far East. The US Navy's victory at Midway in June 1942 was a turning point. It crippled the Japanese fleet and halted their expansion. Allied forces, bolstered by American resources, pushed back the Japanese. The island-hopping strategy captured key islands and air bases. Guadalcanal, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa were fiercely contested. These victories paved the way for Japan's defeat. Section 4: Unsung Heroes, Tales of Resilience and Sacrifice. The Far East campaign witnessed countless acts of bravery and sacrifice by soldiers and civilians alike. One such story is that of Lieutenant Adnan Saidi, a Malayan officer who led a heroic defense of Singapore against overwhelming Japanese forces. His courage and leadership inspired his men to fight to the death, becoming a symbol of Malayan resistance. In Burma, a group of nurses known as the Wasp, Women's Auxiliary Service, braved enemy fire and harsh conditions to evacuate wounded soldiers from the front lines. These women displayed extraordinary courage and compassion, saving countless lives under extremely challenging circumstances. The story of Yang Kyoungjong, a Korean soldier who was conscripted into the Japanese army captured by the Soviets and later fought for Germany, exemplifies the complex human experiences of the war. His extraordinary journey across different armies and battlefronts underscores the global nature of the conflict and the impact it had on individuals caught in its crossfire. The Far East's impact on World War II. The Far East campaign played a crucial role in World War II. It tied down Japan's military forces. This bought time for the Allies in Europe. The battle showed the global nature of the conflict. It highlighted contributions from Australia, New Zealand, and India. The campaign impacted the post-war geopolitical landscape. It led to the decline of European colonialism and new nations. The war left an indelible mark on the nations involved.